Hello guys, I am Taruni and I welcome you all to Taruni Reads. In this video, we are going to discuss about algorithms. You may be wondering, this is the first video of Python series and here I am with the definition of algorithm. But what is this algorithm? So before we dive into coding, first we should know some basics, and algorithm and flowcharts are some of the basic concepts that you should know before coding. So in this video, we will learn about algorithm. So first, what is an algorithm? We will know what is an algorithm. So algorithm is a sequence of steps or activities used to achieve a specific output from a given input. So just leave this example and I'll make you understand by using a simple example, real world example. So our task is to make a tea. So what are the steps that will be included to make a tea? The first step will be take a bowl, pour some milk, tea powder, switch on the stove, add sugar, let it boil for some time, then switch off the stove, strain the tea and just serve it hot. So these are some of the steps. So here if we compare our real world problem with this definition of algorithm, we can say that here making a tea is an activity. So what is our output? Our output is a delicious hot tea. So what are the input? The inputs are ingredients in this example. So the ingredients are milk, tea powder, sugar, and all of these are ingredients and which we can say as input for this task. So what is the output? Tea. So we can say it as an output for this task. And what is the algorithm for this? So the steps that we had discussed are the algorithms for this process. So this is a real world example and we can write algorithm for any task. So an algorithm is a sequence of steps or activities that use it to achieve a specific output from a given input. So an algorithm will always have an output and also input. So next, an algorithm must have clear, unambiguous rules and defined stopping point. So the algorithm must always be clear, unambiguous. Ambiguous means not clear. So it should have clear rules and also it should have a stopping point. So if we take this example of tea, making of tea, what is the stopping point? When the tea boils, we'll switch off the stove and serve it. When you serve it, the process completes there. After serving again, you won't be going and keeping the tea. So after you serve, there the task is completed. There it stops. So every algorithm will have a stopping point and all the steps should be clear and unambiguous. Next, multiple algorithms can exist for a single problem. So my mother will make tea in a different way, your mother will do tea in a different way. So the steps may be different, like some will be adding the tea powder and milk together and then add the water, and some people will be boiling the tea in water and then at last they will be adding the milk. So a simple process can have a multiple algorithms. So multiple algorithms can exist for a single problem. And the next one, the successful execution of an algorithm ensures a specific output. If we do all the steps correctly, then we will get the specific output, T in this case. And algorithm must be conclude or stop after a finite time. So after we switch off the gas and serve the tea, here the process stopped. So the algorithm is concluded. It is not like infinite. So we will just stop it somewhere. So these are some of the so this is some information about algorithm. Now let me show you some other examples to understand algorithm. So this is our first example. Here the problem is find the area of circle of radius r. So we already have discussed that a task will be having three things, that is an algorithm, input and output. Here what is the input? First, let us see the output. The output is to find the area of the circle. So, the output is finding the area. And what will be the input? To get the output, the required thing is called an input. So, here the input will be radius. So, radius is the input and area will be the output. So, what are the steps that we should follow to get the area of circle? So, the first step will be read input. So, radius may vary. I may give the radius as 2, you may give the radius as 5, and some other may give the radius as 10. So, first we should take the input from the user, and next step will be finding the area. We know that the formula for area is pi r square. So, we will use the radius that is given by the user and we will be calculating the area. And the next step is printing the area, because they are asking for the area, so we should print the area. So this is a simple algorithm, and I will show you another example. So the next one is determine if a number is even or odd. So here also, what is the input? Here we'll give a number because we need to check whether a number is even or odd. So I'll give a number, that will be input. So what is output? The output will be even or odd. There are only two options, right? A number will be even or odd, except 0, but here I'm saying because 0 is neither even nor odd. So here a number will have two options, even or odd. So the output can be even or odd. So what is the algorithm for this? The algorithm for this is, as usual, first we'll take the input and next step. Okay, here comes the logic. How will we find whether a number is even or odd? So the first thing, we all know that we'll check whether the number is divisible by 2. If a number is divisible by 2, we will say that the number is even, or if the number is not divisible by 2, we will say that the number is odd. So here we won't be using divisibility. We will be using divisibility, but we won't be using the divisible symbol. Here we will use modulo. Modulo, it is an operation like how we have addition, subtraction. Like that, modulo is also an operation. So the main reason why we use modulo is there is a lot of difference between divisible symbol and this modulo operation. Divisibility. Let me take you an example. Let me make you understand this by using an example. So, let the number be 4. We all know that 4 is even, but I'll show you the difference between division and modulus. So, if we do division, 4 divided by 2, what is the answer? Answer is 2. What is 2? 2 is the quotient. The answer we are getting while we divide 4 with 2 is quotient. But if I do the operation 4 modulo 2, the answer will be 0, because modulo means the 4 will be divided by 2 those many times where 2 is not divisible by 4 and the remainder will be displayed. So modulo will give the remainder and divide it until we get the remainder, until the number is not divisible by 2, then it will give the remainder. Whereas what this divide symbol do is, it will just give you the quotient. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, whereas 4 modulo 2 is 0. So this is the main difference. We use this logic everywhere where we find this even and odd. So if n modulo 2 is equals to 0, then print even. If no, then we have no other option. We should print it as odd. And I will tell you another example and let's conclude this session. So another example is write algorithm to find the greatest number between the two numbers. So in this we have some steps. The first step will be reading the input, and next we will take another variable c. The user will be giving us two numbers. Let us assume that the first number is a and the second number is b. Now let us assume c is the greatest number. So now we will check if a is greater than b. If a is greater than b, then we will assign c equals to a. because C is greater. C is the highest number. So C is equals to A. If B is greater, then we will assign C is equals to B. And then at last we will print C. And that's it. This is a simple algorithm to find the greatest number between the two numbers. So that's it for the video, and in the next coming up videos we'll be discussing about problem solving, and in next video I promise you that we'll be writing a small code and you all will be excited to write your first code. And it takes a lot of efforts to make all these videos, so please do like the video. And if you see all my videos, I am getting a lot of comments, like the comments are more than 150 for each video, but if you see the likes, they are like 30 or 40. So please like the video and I will be motivated to complete this series as soon as possible. Maybe I'll be making 4 to 5 videos, and you are good to go with this knowledge to your college, and I will definitely promise you that you will be acing your this course better in your college, better than your friends, because you'll be knowing everything in advance. So do not forget to comment down below whether you understood or you did not understand, or if you want any modifications, or if you want me to go slow or go fast, or if you want me to write anything, or if you want me to code. So whatever you want, just comment down below. And that's it for this video, guys. Just like and subscribe the channel, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye. Stay safe, guys. Keep learning.